Hi, welcome to Chair Yoga with Danielle. I'm Danielle and this is Blue. All you'll need for this practice is a chair and yourself. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in class. But once you have found a chair that you like, so you'll want to be able to sit away from the back as much as possible, go ahead and place your feet firmly on the ground and see if you can really lengthen your spine here. So remember, yoga isn't about the poses that we take. It's the breath in our body and that union between our body, breath, and our spirit. So taking this opportunity just to breathe, so lengthening the spine once more and checking in with your head. So see if you can allow the head to float freely from the spine or freely from the neck. So you may have to bring the chin down or up a little bit. And once you've done that, see if you can just check in with your breath. So feeling the weight of your feet on the ground, the weight of your hands on your thighs, and the weight of your body in your chair. And instead of focusing on the inhale today, let's see if we can just think about our exhale. Your body will inhale when it's ready, so just feel the exhale happen for you. And you may even want to take your hands and rest them on your low ribs. Now, I like to bring my elbows down. I'm just finding that breath in the body. So as you inhale, can you feel how your lower ribs might want to expand? And as you exhale, can you feel how your lower ribs might want to fall? And whenever you're ready, if you'd like, releasing those hands back to the thighs. Once again, checking in with your breath. Once again, extending and lengthening your spine and check in with your core a little bit. Now from here, if your eyes are closed, maybe go ahead and open them. We're just going to tip our hip bones towards our thighs on our inhale. And on our exhale, tip your hip bones towards your shoulders. Then find neutral, and we're going to go ahead and tip your hip bones towards your thighs. Inhale, let your lower ribs expand. And exhale, scoop that tailbone under. Tip your hip bones towards your shoulders. So inhale, tip your hip bones forward. Now this can be a big movement or a little movement. It's as much or as little as you'd like to do today. So remember to listen to your body. If something does not feel right for you, or if it does not work for your body, don't do it. So just continue to tip your hip bones forward and back. And you will find that as you tip your hip bones forward or back, that your spine will lengthen, grow really tall. And as you exhale and scoop that tailbone under, you may find that you start to kind of shorten or come down a little bit. So continue that movement forward and then back, just with your breath. So remember, you may breathe a little bit faster, move a little bit faster or slower than me. It does not matter. So just go on your own pace today. And then when you're ready, whenever that is, finding a neutral position. So somewhere in between really tipping your hip bones forward and tipping your hip bones all the way back. A place where your spine can grow the longest and be the longest. And you may get to play around with this or want to play around with this a little bit more. Now from here, we're just going to start some movement in our shoulders. Nothing dramatic, nothing big. We're just going to lift our shoulders up and just release our shoulders down. So it's just a lift and a lower. Beautiful. It's just a few more times here. And last and final time, just lift those shoulders up and lower them down. Allow your shoulders to rest. See if there's anything showing up in the body for you. So you might feel good to start to scan from the top of your head all the way down to the tips of the toes. And just observe what sensations are showing up in your body. Now remember, we're not trying to push those sensations away. We're not trying to hold on to them. We're just trying to see what's there. So what's showing up today? And with everything going on in the world today, just let things bubble up as they will. And see if you can really come back to your breath. So really feel how the inhale happens for you and how your exhale happens for you. Now, if your breath is a little bit tricky to find today, there's a little trick I like to do. Imagine you're breathing through a straw. So you actually make the lip movements like you have a straw in between your lips. And maybe one more time. And then release that. When you're ready, tipping your hip bones towards your thighs. Inhale, chest up, chin up, head up, look up. And as we exhale, scooping that tailbone under, arch the back, chin to chest, eyes to thighs. So we're going to inhale to look up. And when you get to your exhale, whenever that comes, remember to use your low ribs. Allow your spine to arch around as much as it feels good. So just a few more of these. Finding some movement for that spine. So again, it can be quite big or quite little. And then once again, finding neutral with that spine, longer spine. Shoulder blades stay back and down, so trying to release the shoulders out of the ears. From here, we're just going to start with a little rotation. So pointer finger and the thumb are together, elbows are soft. And just start with a little simple rotation from side to side. So again, very small, maybe 3 inches. So twisting or rotating to the right, back to center, just a gentle movement to the left, back to center, and back to the right. Now once you come back to center, release those hands on the thighs, lengthen the spine even more. Check in with your lower back. Do you need to tip your hip bones forward or back, just to feel what's going on for your lower back? And imagine your feet are now suctioned, cupped to the ground. So they're stuck on the ground. And we're going to start to work a little bit on core strength here. So let's take an inhale. And when your exhale comes, just a quick, sharp shushing sound out of the mouth. So it's a shh. Awesome. So we're going to do that again. So remember, just a regular inhale. When you get to your exhale, quick, sharp shushing sound, it's a shh sound. One more time. Quick, sharp shushing sound. Shh. Hold that bracing so you can feel that bracing of your core. Breathe if you can. Breathe behind that bracing. And now with our feet suction cupped to the earth, can you try and lift or without moving your foot? So try and pull your right foot off the ground without actually lifting it. And then release and keep this engagement in the core. See if you can pull the left foot off the ground without actually lifting it off the ground. So it's suction cupped to the earth. Now, here's the tricky part. Release that, keep the engagement in the core, keep breathing, and see if we can pull both feet off the ground without actually lifting them. Big movement. Check in with your low back. Maybe add a little tiny scoop under or swinging of the dinosaur tail, like you had a dinosaur tail behind you, and you're going to swing your dinosaur tail through your legs to smack you in the head. So keep trying to lift your feet, but keep swinging your dinosaur tail through, and release. Hands in front of the knees, scoop that tailbone under, arch the back. Big exhale. Inhale to look up. Big exhale, scoop that tailbone under. Inhale to look up. And then coming back to that neutral spine whenever you're ready. So just like your chin is resting on a table, so remember the head is still free of the neck, so moving your chin in such a way that the head floats on top of your neck. See if you can just look to the left a little bit. See if you can keep your shoulders, instead of moving your shoulders, can you just move from the neck? Bring the head back to neutral. Chin is resting on that imaginary table. And turn and look to the right. Then we're going to do that again. So head back to neutral. Look to the left. Back to center. Look to the right. And then chin back to center. Reaching those hands down to the earth. Option to take that left ear to left shoulder. Just a little bit. So see if you can lead with the right side of your chin. Bring the chin back to neutral and right ear to right shoulder. So as we're taking our right ear to right shoulder, we're not shifting over, we're not moving, we're just trying to keep everything in the neck. Just a nice easy stretch. And then bring it back to neutral. From here, lengthen the spine. Remember to add a little bit of energy into those feet. Can we flip our right palm up? Release that, palm faces the chair. Flip the left palm up. Release that, palm faces the chair. Now from here, can we flip both palms up towards the sky? And then palms face the chair one more time. Both palms up towards the sky. Palms face the chair. Now from here, can we move from the shoulder blades? So think about the inside edge of your shoulder blades. Like your shoulder blades are a bit like a triangle. And we're going to start with the shoulder blades. So the inside edge of our shoulder blades, the one that faces our spine. Think about spinning that inside edge away from the body out towards your heels and see if those arms will just naturally lift. Almost like you're lying in a beautiful pond and your arms are just floating up overhead. Now as those arms float up, just check in with your shoulders. Is there a point where your palms just want to float up to the sky naturally to allow your arms to continue to lift? So you may get here, and that might be enough for your shoulders, and just go ahead and flip your palms down and lower them all the way down, just like you're pushing water away from you. So once again, moving from the shoulder blades, maybe start to lift those arms, make those palms float up right away. Get to a point, get to your point. Maybe you go a little bit higher, maybe you don't. Flip your palms down, give it some resistance. Spread those fingers, press energy through your hands, press, press, press. And once more, inhale, float those arms up. Beautiful. Now as you get to your exhale, whenever that comes, maybe the palms float down, you spread your fingers as if you have a jet of air on either side of you. You're going to press those hands down on that jet of air. Good. Keep some energy in those arms. Inhale, float those arms up as you inhale. And when you get to your exhale, flip those palms down towards the floor. And if you'd like to think about pushing water away or air down, that's good imagery too. So a few more of these. Now, if those shoulders are a little cranky today or a little tight, maybe don't go as far. If you need a break, take a break at any time. Listen to your body. Maybe one more time. So here we go. We're going to take an inhale, float those arms as far up as you want to go. Now, if your shoulders are a little cranky, there's another way you can do this. You can make a little cactus arms because we're going to do a little lateral bending. So if your arms are here, awesome. If your arms are here, even better. It's all good. Now, once we're here, let's start with cactus arms today. So palms face forward, spread your fingers. And we're going to go ahead and lift. So think about without moving our shoulders, so our arms are nice and still, we're just going to move from the waist. So can we just take a little side bend to the left? Inhale back to center, little side bend to the right. Inhale back to center, and can we release those arms? Woo! Shoulders are a little bit warm now, so go ahead and take some shoulder circles. Inhale, lift those shoulders up, and as we exhale, gently squeeze those shoulder blades together. So maybe those arms are getting involved, and you can move in those arms a little bit. And see if we want to reverse that direction. So come forward with those shoulder rolls. Let those shoulder circles come forward. Beautiful. So take your time here. Now from here, just finding some stillness in your body, arms out to a T position or lower down if that feels good for you. So check in with your shoulders. From here, let's flip both palms up towards the ceiling. Palms float down. Inhale, palms up. Palms float down. Now this is a tricky one. So see if you can keep your right palm facing the ground and float your left palm up towards the sky and then switch. And then switch. Now if you'd like to go a little bit further with that, you can continue to rotate, but you're rotating one hand down and the other hand up. Now, see if you can do this movement or feel the movement in the shoulder blades instead of the front of your shoulders. A few more. And last time, go ahead and float both palms up towards the sky and palms down to the ground. Palms down towards the ground, release those hands down, shoulder circles. Let's leave those shoulders alone for a little bit. Let those shoulders just chill out. Maybe open and close your hands. I like to take my palms and rest them above my thighs so they're floating above my thighs. And we're going to close our hands. And I like to imagine my hands are in warm sand. So think about putting your hands in something that feels really good. Maybe you like to put your hands in flour. I like warm sand. I like to imagine I'm on a beach on vacation. So spreading those hands nice and wide, stretch every single one of those fingers and then very carefully close it in. So again, when you have your hands in sand, you've got a little bit of sand in between those hands, so you can't be able to make a big fist. So just a gentle movement for those fingers. So open and then gently close and then open and gently close. One more time, big stretch for those fingers. And release. And maybe it might feel good to give yourself some wrist circles here. Reverse that direction with those circles. Maybe wiggle those fingers a little bit. And then you're going to come and just kind of scooch forward to the front edge of your chair. So just bring yourself away from the back of your chair just so you can extend. Let's start with our left leg long. So heel down, toe up, big bend to the knee. So go ahead and look at your knee and make sure your knee has a big bend to it. Now, can you look at your right ankle and make sure that right ankle is below that right knee? So try to avoid keeping your heel towards your chair or moving your foot out a little bit. So keep everything nice and aligned. Now from here, Can you create a long spine once again? Now check in with your breath. Where is your breath gone? Since we did all that movement, and sometimes it's nice to just take a breath break. From here, spreading every single one of those toes, would it feel right and good for you to start some ankle circles? Now, I like my ankle circles to use my whole leg. So not just my ankle, maybe my knee, maybe into my hip. So big circles around. So now if you're just in the ankle, that's okay too. If you're just down below, lower limb, that's okay too. So give yourself a moment. And if we're gonna stay with that sand imagery, imagine that foot in sand. So it's a nice big slow circle. And maybe you can feel that circle happening all the way up into your hip. So a nice release of the hip. Can we reverse that circle now? So nice reverse of that circle. Big circles all the way around. Now check again with your posture, checking with your low back and finding some stillness for that leg. Can you carefully wave that leg from side to side? So remember, if there's a little bit of a catch in your hip, don't go as far. If there's something that doesn't feel right for you, don't do it. And then when you're ready, finding stillness, keep that heel down, big bend to the knee, and we're just gonna bounce out that leg, almost like we're impatiently waiting for someone. We've been sitting on this bench, our imaginary bench, for a long time, and they are taking their time today. So let's go ahead and shake, and let's really show them that we've been waiting here for a while. So see if you can really bounce out that left leg. So shake it out. So tap that foot, shake it out. See if that movement can kind of go all the way up into your ear, maybe to the top of your head. And then when you're ready, release. So go ahead and soften the top of the foot. So you can lengthen your spine. And let's start with our hip bones again. Can we tip our hip bones towards our thighs, keeping a nice neutral back? So we're not rounding our back, we're keeping our chest upright. Tip those hip bones forward. Would it feel right just to reach your hands forward? So the goal isn't to get to our foot. The goal is to keep a long, nice neutral spine, keep the breath flowing in and out. Now I like to imagine I have a beach ball in between my hands, so can we spread our fingers and maybe give that beach ball a little bit of a squeeze to remind ourselves that we still have a core. Where is the breath showing up for you? So where is the breath showing up for you today? Can you spread every single one of your toes? Can you keep your foot alive? And as you inhale carefully and slowly come up, let's bring that left foot in. Just give ourselves a moment. Maybe lift our heels, lower our heels, and just lift our toes, try and spread the toes. So lift the heels, lower the heels, and lift the toes. A few more times. So it's a lift, it's a lower, it's a lift of the toes. And last time, setting those feet firmly on the ground. From here, can we extend our right leg long, heel down, toe up. Give yourself a moment to make sure that knee is softly bent, and check in with your left ankle, left knee. So make sure everything is aligned. Finding that long spine. Can we start with some gentle circles of either the ankle, the foot, maybe the knee, and all the way up into the hip. So can we make some big, big circles all the way around? And reversing that circle. So again, if you'd like to imagine your foot in sand, try and put a little resistance on that foot. Try and spread the toes as much as you can. And from here, finding stillness, maybe again, waving that leg from side to side. All right, there's that fun part of waiting for that person. We're patiently waiting for our friend, and we're gonna bounce out that leg. So we're gonna bounce out that leg, bounce out that foot. We want them to really know that we've been waiting here for a while. So shake it on out. See if you can get that movement all the way from the big toe to come up all the way to the top of your ear or the top of your head. So keep shaking it out. You will find that one side of your body is a little bit different than the other. I always find that my left side is a little bit easier to use than my right side. It's just, there's no wrong or right answer. It's just fascinating to me. So have a little fun with this. And then when you're ready, finding stillness, so check in with your posture. Can you spread the bones of your feet? Like the bones of your feet are a fan, and we're just opening that fan up. Spread the toes, lengthen the spine, lifting up from the low belly here. Now starting with the hips, can we tip our hip bones forward? And just pause when we get to our point. So with that point where we really want to roll down, come up a little bit, then reach your hands forward. Again, the goal isn't to get to the foot. It's just bringing your arms forward. Maybe give a little bit of energy into your imaginary beach ball. And using your heel of that right foot, can you press your heel down slightly and carefully come back up? Once you've come all the way up, bring that foot in. Lift the heels, lower your heels, rock back. Just a few more times here. And last and final time, setting your feet down on the earth, lift just your toes as much as possible. Can you drop the toes of your right foot, the little toes of your right foot? Try and keep your big toe up. And lift all the toes of your right foot. Can you drop all the toes, little toes of your left foot? Try and keep your big toe up. Ooh. And then lift all your toes, spread every single one of those toes, really engage in the ankles and release. Maybe scrunch those toes in just like you were standing on a towel or sitting with your feet on a towel, and you're trying to pull that towel towards your heels. So give your feet a little bit of movement here. And when you're ready, release and soften. Inhale, chest up, chin up, head up, look up. And as we exhale, scooping that tailbone under, arch the back, chin to chest, eyes to thighs. Inhale to look up. And as we exhale, scooping the tailbone under, arch the back, chin to chest, eyes to thighs. So coming back to our neutral spine, maybe let's take our hands together. So let's open up in those shoulders and that neck a little bit. So bring your palms together in front of you like you've got a little wedge shape. So keep your chest open, shoulder blades back and down. We're going to watch our left thumb here. So our head and neck move as we watch our left thumb. So every time our hands touch, your shoulder blades go back and down. So we're going to try and keep our hip bones forward. So watching our left thumb, inhale, open to the left, just as far as you want to go. Now as you exhale, bring those hands back together. Now just opening up the right side, inhale, watching that right thumb, open up that right thumb. And come back to center. Just see which side of your body is a little bit different than the other. So going from one side to the other, inhale to open. When you get to your exhale, bring it on in. Beautiful. Let's do one more on this right side. Finish up that right side. And then come all the way back to center. From here, release those arms down. Maybe swim out those shoulders a little bit. Maybe reverse that direction. And then find some stillness. So we're just going to check back in with our breath. So if it might feel good to close your eyes. And see where the breath is showing up in your body. And see what your body is telling you now. Remember to move your chin in such a way that your head floats freely on the neck. So you can let the tongue fall from the roof of the mouth. And then when you're ready, if your eyes are closed, go ahead and open them up. We're going to do a little bit of rotation work today, so work on some core strength. Point your finger and the thumb together, elbows are soft, just like we did in the beginning. Now, from here, we're going to really check in with our core. So can we lengthen our spine? And really quick, just think about lifting your right foot off the ground, release. Think about lifting your left foot off the ground, release. Now, squeezing their left oblique, the left side of your body, can you start your rotation to the left? Now, as you're rotating, we're going to put the brakes on real quick. So can we spin that right low belly to the right? So we're rotating to the left, but we're still working that right side of our core. So think about your right hip and try and pull your right hip back a little bit. Now, the tip of your left shoulder blade, can you slide your tip of your left shoulder blade across your body and stick it into your right hip back pocket? Does that free up your head and neck? Now, if you're like, ooh, I can't breathe, Danielle, go ahead and come back to center. And then release, coming all the way back to center. Release those arms down, give those shoulders some swimming movements, maybe an inhale, chest up, chin up, head up, look up. And as we exhale, taking that big exhale, arching the back, chin to chest, eyes to thighs. So nice big inhale here. Nice exhale, scooping that tailbone under, arch the back, chin to chest, eyes to thighs. Beautiful, you all. And last and final time, finding some stillness, lengthening from the crown of the head. Pointer finger and the thumb together. Elbows are soft. Squeezing that right oblique. So finding your exhale. Once you get to your exhale, start that movement. Spin your left low belly behind you, or left hips pulling to the left. Take the tip of your right shoulder blade, slide it into your left hip pocket. Does that free up your head and neck? Maybe it doesn't, it's all good. And on your inhale, come all the way back to center. Releasing those hands down, spin out your shoulders. So we're going to do one more kind of a twist, but we're going to use our hands on our thighs now. So with our hands on our left thigh, lengthen your spine. When you get to your exhale, once again, using your left oblique, spin your right low belly to the right, but now we're going to extend our left arm long. Taking an inhale, crisscross those arms. It might feel good to sway from side to side here. So don't forget about your breath. Now, I sound like a broken record, but the breath is so important, and we forget oftentimes as we move from one pose to the next where our breath is. And then come back to center, floating all the way back up to the top. Unwind those arms. Maybe take both hands to that right thigh. Remember to check in with your posture. So have you started to kind of scoop that tailbone under? Can you lengthen your spine once more? And from here, soften your shoulders. And start that little bit of a squeeze with that right oblique. Spin your left low belly to the left. Once you get to your point, remember we're not pulling with our hands, they're just resting there. Extend that right arm long. And on your inhale, come all the way back to center. Crisscross those arms and sway. Sway from side to side. And then when you're ready, finding stillness once more. So unwind those arms, finding stillness. Maybe scoop that tailbone under, arm the exhale, and on your inhale, tip it forward. Scoop it under, and tip it forward. And coming back to neutral. From here, we are going to cradle our right elbow. And we're just going to make some nice circles here. So avoid smacking yourself in the face. Reverse that direction. And reverse that direction once more. And then reverse the direction again. And then go ahead and take that arm to stillness, palm faces in, and can you spin the arm away from the body, or just the palm? And the last and final time, release, go ahead and switch elbows. So again, making some nice circles with your elbow all the way around, and reverse that direction. Reverse it again, and one more time. And from here, with the palm facing your face, can you spin your palm away and back in? Spin your palm away and back in. Last and final time. And then release. Awesome. Go ahead and open and close your hands. Maybe the palms face in, maybe the palms face out. With your elbows soft, with your palms off to the side, we're going to do a little cat claw, so fingertips come down towards our palms. We're going to do a tabletop position and an open palm. Really spread those hands. So cat claw, tabletop, open palm. Cat claw, tabletop, open palm, last and final time, and open palm. Give those wrists some nice big circles. Reaching those hands all the way down to the earth, lots of energy in those fingers, lengthen your spine, press your right foot firmly into the ground, take your left ear to left shoulder, head back to neutral, and right ear to right shoulder, pressing your left foot firmly into the ground. Bring it back to center, float that right palm up towards the sky, reach your right arm up as well, so give it a little bit of length in that right arm. So almost like, now again, you always have the option for the cactus pose. So reach that right arm up to the sky, palm is facing towards your ear. Now, when we take our little side bend, we're going to just try and keep that space between our sternum and our belly button the same length. And can you breathe into your right side of your body? Come all the way back to center. Maybe dropping that right hand down. Now we're going to reach our left arm up. Again, cactus pose is always an option. So a little bit of length through the fingertips. So reaching up with the left hand, reaching down with the right. And a little bit of a side bend over to that right side. Don't forget about your breath. Can you feel your breath in the left side of your body? And come all the way back to center. Moving those shoulders a little bit, reversing that direction. Maybe an inhale, chest up, chin up, head up, look up. Now as we exhale, scooping that tailbone under, arch the back, chin to chest, eyes to thighs. Inhale to look up. And big exhale, scooping the tailbone under, arch the back, chin to chest, eyes to thighs. Finding a neutral position. Maybe reach your legs long, but keep a really big bend to your knees. Go ahead and make some swiveling movements with those feet and reversing that direction. Maybe sway from side to side. And setting those feet down once more. From here, go ahead and take your arms out to that T position. Let's flip our right palm up towards our sky. Take our left hand on top of the head, and we're not pulling the head, so our hand is just resting there. Can we take our left ear, left shoulder, and keep spinning our right thumb back behind us? Release and switch, palms face down. Flip our left palm up towards the sky, right hand on top of the head. Right ear to right shoulder. Keep spinning your left thumb back behind you. And release. Both arms long, palms face down. Let those arms float. Flip your palms up towards the sky. Reach them as far up as your shoulders want to go. Spread your fingers, pressing down on your imaginary water or jets of air. And last and final time. From here, one more big arm stretch before we go into that last part of our class. So from here, let's take our left hand onto that shirt. Maybe tuck that left hand back behind. Now, if your hand is able to go back behind your low back, the palm will face out. Now, if your shoulder's not feeling it, and oftentimes my shoulder doesn't want to do this, I just hold onto my shirt or just put my hand by my hip. So with your palm behind the back of your head or your hand by the hip, we're going to keep that left shoulder blade back and down. Take your right hand on top of your head, reach for that left eyebrow, chin to chest, chin to armpit, and just can you reach the left side of your chin up towards the sky. So wherever you're at with your hand, that left hand, we're not pulling the head down, the hand is just, right hand is just resting there. You're leading with the left side of your chin. And release, come back to center, release that arm. And go ahead and from here, take that right hand either on the hip or behind the low back. Set your right shoulder blade back and down, left hand on top of the head. Reach for that right eyebrow. Chin to chest, maybe the chin to armpit. Remember, the hand is just resting there. It's grazing the top of the head. Lead with the right side of your chin. Check in with your right shoulder blade. Has that shoulder wanted to creep up to the ear? Can you set it down? You can also take your hand by your hip. And release, bringing that head back to neutral. Unwind that hand from the low back. Give those shoulders some nice big stretch. From here, we're going to head and going to shimmy back just a tiny bit. We're still away from the back of our chair. And can you lift, or just put your hands behind your left thigh. So if you lift your left leg up, give that left ankle some big circles. And today maybe you can trace your name or letters. You can do the alphabet. That's kind of a nice thing to do. So do the alphabet, give your ankle some nice big circles here. So supporting the back of that thigh, just circle it around. Maybe get halfway through the alphabet. Maybe your alphabet is a bit backwards. That's okay too. And then if and when you're ready, a couple ways to do this. The modification for this one is you can take your right leg long, keep a soft bend to it, and just cross your left ankle over it. So keeping your knees wide as much as it feels good for the hip. The other way to do this is hold behind the back of your left thigh. Take this right hand, slide it down your shin bone. Hold onto that ankle, support the outer part of that left knee with your hand, and can you cross your ankle over that thigh? Now the key here is check in with your right ankle. Has that right ankle moved a little bit? Can you keep that right ankle below the knee? Now, once you've got this shape going on, so this figure 4 shape here, or with your ankles crossed in front of one another, check in with your shoulders, soften your shoulders, lengthen your spine. Just by lengthening your spine, you can actually deepen this stretch. So flex your feet, nice hip stretch here. Pause, find your breath. Now if you'd like to go deeper, try and keep the space between the sternum and the belly button the same length, and maybe bring your heart forward just a few inches, or half of an inch. Check in with your breath. And carefully and slowly come up, holding behind your left thigh, give your left lower limb some circles, and then always an option to kick that leg forward. When we kick the leg forward, we want the knee to still stay soft, reach your hands forward, and tipping your hip bones towards your thighs, neutral spine. Nice little stretch here. Inhale, coming all the way back up to the top. Bring this foot in, and we're gonna switch sides. So maybe hold behind your right thigh now. Give some ankle circles, maybe draw a picture, maybe write your name, or trace your name or the alphabet. That might feel good too. So move the ankle around, just from the ankle and the foot. Try and spread your toes a little bit. Get a little bit ways down the alphabet. Maybe you want to do cursive. Get really fancy here. Now from here, if it felt good to cross your ankles on the other side, maybe do the same thing, crossing your ankles. And if you'd like, maybe take that left hand, slide it down the front of that right shin down. Holding onto the outer part of your right knee, maybe hook that right ankle over that left thigh. Check in with your left ankle, left knee, make sure everything is aligned. And supporting the outer part of your right knee with the hand. So you want to be pressing up a little bit with that right hand, but do check in with your shoulder. Flex your feet, lengthen your spine, and maybe come forward a few inches, or not at all. So keep a long spine here. That might feel pretty good just to stay there. And when you're ready, coming all the way back up to the top, go ahead and release that. Hold behind the thigh, maybe the lower limb, get some nice circles. And then if you'd like, kick that leg forward. Do keep a big bend to that knee, so slide that heel in a little bit. And once again, tipping at your hip bones. Maybe reach your arms forward, give yourself just a bit of a stretch. And carefully and slowly come back up to the top. Bringing that right foot in, inhale, chest up, chin up, head up, look up. And as we exhale, scooping the tailbone under, arch the back, chin to chest, eyes to thighs. Inhale to look up. And big exhale, scooping the tailbone under, arch the back, chin to chest, eyes to thighs. From here, lengthen the spine. Elbows come in as close as they feel good. So we're going to keep the chest open here. Palms are down on our thighs. We're not pressing down, they're resting. Just gently bring your fingertips together like you have a piece of paper in between each finger. So your fingertips are forward, your heels of your hands are on your thighs, your elbows are gently squeezing in, almost like you're trying to give your rib cage just a light hug. Slide the tips of your shoulder blades into the back pocket. Gently tip your hip bones forward. So again, we're not coming forward, we're keeping our hip bones we're moving from the hips. Tip the hip bones forward. Now squeeze your elbows in just a touch. So give your rib cage just a little bit of a hug. And think about pulling the heels of your hands back, almost like you're trying to slide your elbows back behind you, but you're actually not moving your hands at all. So again, a long spine, move your chin in such a way that your head is still floating free on the neck. Can you keep the core engaged? So think about squeezing your two frontal hip bones in a little bit. Lift from your low belly, squeeze your elbows back, and release. Hands slide to the front of your knees, scoop your tailbone under, arch the back. Inhale, chest up, chin up, head up, look up. As you exhale, scooping the tailbone under, arch the back, chin to chest, eyes to thighs. Last and final time, inhale to look up. And big exhale, scooping the tailbone under, arch the back, chin to chest, eyes to thighs. Now you may want to find neutral before scooching back to the back of your chair. Maybe lean back a little bit. Reach your arms long, reach your legs long, give yourself a nice big good morning stretch. So stretch the fingers, stretch the toes. Fill your lungs with air. Bringing everything down. You may want to scooch back in your chair if you have something handy to elevate your feet, if that might feel good for you. Do that. If you like to put on a sweater or cover up with a blanket, you can do that as well. So do get comfortable. This is the last part of class. So the last part of class always ends with a seated meditation. So we're just going to find our breath. So you may need to adjust around. You may need to adjust some clothing or move around a little bit to get comfy. Maybe you have to get yourself some socks to put on your feet if your feet are cold. So give yourself a moment to get as comfy as possible and challenge yourself today to see if you can get a little more comfortable here. So as comfortable as possible, really using that chair to support your back. And once you've found that position of comfort, just come into your breath. Now again, just be aware of how you're breathing, the awareness of where your breath is showing up in your body. The inhale and the exhale, always an option to keep the eyes open or closed. It's whatever feels best for you. So just feel how your feet rest on the floor, how your hands rest on your thighs, how your glutes rest on the chair. And as you inhale, feeling how your low ribs, how they might want to lift, and if they do, can you allow them? And as you exhale, can you feel how your low ribs might want to fall? And if they do, can you allow them? Can you feel the muscles of your face, the sensation of the tops of your shoulders, the sides of your body, right and left side, your hips, your thighs, your knees, shin bones, ankles, and feet. Just feeling your whole body, as if you're taking the weather report of your body today. Staying with your breath, the inhale and the exhale. If your mind starts to get busy and wants to wander, maybe imagine your thoughts like clouds in the sky. And you watch them drift through your mind's eye, not attaching, not following a path of thought. As if you're sitting at the edge of a beautiful ocean. You can see the clear blue sky above you. Your feet are in that warm, soft sand. And every time you inhale, a wave comes up to touch your feet. And as you exhale, that wave rolls out into the greater ocean beyond. Inhaling, that wave rolls in. And as you exhale, that wave rolling out. Feel the muscles ungrip from the bones. And your bones becoming heavy. Give yourself permission to release. If you feel anything bubbling up, any emotions, feelings, allow them to be sensations in the body. So not holding on to them, but not pushing them away. Just be curious of what they are. As you inhale, that wave rolls in. And as you exhale, that wave rolling in. Every inhale, feeling light and energy flowing into your feet, into your knees, your thighs, your hips, the right and left side of your rib cage, into your hands, your arms, your shoulders, the sides of your neck, the back of your head, the front of your face, all the way to the top of your head. And as you exhale, feeling anything that does not serve you, letting it flow away from your body. Any anxiety, worry, tension, frustration, or even pain, letting it flow out of your body. Every inhale bringing lightness and energy, filling your body all the way from the bottoms of your feet to the top of your head. Staying with each breath. And if you like, staying here. The next few moments, or as long as you want. we'll see you all tomorrow. Namaste.